Chocolate muffin, you know everything I do is to protect you. I make no money off you. So when I tell you truth, you understand it. I'm here to tell you that unfortunately, one of my poo-poo prophecies for PulseX might be coming true. I'm still excited because we get to win. I'm very happy and I'm very optimistic. But are you going to be happy when you hear this? I'm here to protect you. Remember that. So if PulseX does a 1000x from the low when it just launched, then you are only 71x up from day one sacrifice. So before I continue, I'm going to show you the chart now. PulseX has launched. There has been a clogged up bridge. The bridge is full. Everybody is trying to get in the chain. There is like $10 to $20 million loaded up. And they're coming in. So our bags aren't down. But I want you to just put on your fluffy slippers, straighten your back now. Make sure your chair is a bit squeaky like mine. This is the chart. What I'm showing you right now is actually the PulseX chart. I know it says WPLS here, but no, this is actually the PulseX chart. You can see the price here. It's below sacrifice price. So our sacrifice price should have a 1 here. Should be 1, and that's what it would be, like 10,000. But this is only 2,635. So what I've done is I've measured the chart here for you, and you can see down here, I went to the absolute low, and I showed you from the absolute low of when these few thousands of dollars have come into the chain. And by the way, this liquidity is wrong. The real liquidity is only like $1,000. I'm going to show it to you quickly. This is the actual chart. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to quickly switch. I want to see if it shows me the real number. No, it doesn't. Okay. You can find this with the other pairs, but the real liquidity, it's not millions of dollars yet. It's only like $2,000, $10,000. I think if you want, you can actually find it on the PLS pair. Remember, I am using dexscreener.com/PulseChain. You should have all these tickers up and you'll be able to see what's going on. So I'm going to quickly show you where it is right now. And I've brought it up for you right here. You can see this is DAI with Pulse. You can see the liquidity is about 94,000. So people are coming into the chain and they're actually putting it in. So yes, everybody is down. Okay, everybody thinks there's going to be some huge rush event. Look, I think there will be. However, I'm just telling you, if I was a duck named Greg, I wouldn't pump it up straight away because I would be wasting money on people who are going to take losses. This is the same thing that happened with the HEX chart. I'm going to bring you the very early HEX chart as well, just so you can see. We're going to explore it together. I want you to have a look about what happened. And remember, you want to use the very, very, very early HEX chart. This is Uniswap V1. So uniswap.hex.vision. What I'm going to do is just going to show you on the daily chart. We're going to go to the very beginning, put it on a log chart. So you can see here, I'm doing all the research for you, just so you know what to expect. I've made many videos of this. This is very important. Look at this. HEX launches, drops from the launch 75%. By the way, you see this flag? That was a day one adoption amplifier. So everybody was down 98%. This is where, if you measure these first few days, and if you go to the right, that's 90 days here. And if you count these, it's about 120 days. That is about 4 months. 4 months. This one, when you see me right, 4 months to clear the zone. 4 months to clear the zone. This is what HEX did. Ethereum took 6 months. HEX here has taken 4 months. Solana took 4 months. Just so you can kind of get an idea of the expectations of what we're going through. So you can see here, people are adding liquidity. This number was like $10,000 before. Now it's up to $91,000. And the most important part to remember is what I'm about to tell you right now. Look, just got to repeat to you again. If we, from our sacrifice price, if we are up 71x, I don't want you to look at your portfolio and say, oh, it's gone thousands of X's. This is bloody 70. No, it's already up 1,000x. That's the point. This is why in all my videos, I've told you to keep a straight back, wear your fluffy slippers and eat chocolate muffins, because you want to get aggressive as much as you can. You don't want to be in the la-la lands and euphoric with everybody else. In 2.5 years, I'm going to be dwarfed. I'm going to be drowned out by all the people cheering 10,000x, 10,000x, etc. I hope it does that, because I'm gig along with the rest of yous. We're all along together. So I measured here from the very bottom. I did this on this chart, and I really want to just get the specific number just to show you. So this is what it is. So if you measured from the very, very bottom to the sacrifice price, you get a 14x. Now, the liquidity was low, but this is why in my tweet I talked about bragging rights. Okay, let's go back. We'll just quickly read. All right, look at this. You get bragging rights to show this as a chart. All right, so Greg gets to show this to everybody. So I'm here to tell you right now, most likely that $1,000 you sacrificed, it ain't turning to $1 million. I've shown you all the data. Out of all the people, 70 to 80% of people have between $1,000 and $2,000 in there. So you will make money, but you ain't becoming all millionaires. It's a perfect round number trap for you to hold on and do that at the very tops. This happens in every other coin. You have to check out what the position sizes of everyone else is. Then you can kind of get an idea of who's going to make it. Only the top 20% make it. And what's make it mean? Probably over $1 million plus. I hope it's more than that, but you get an idea, right? I just don't want you to get trapped. So here I am to tell you, please, you got to prepare yourself. So many people, they will cry. We're not here to be little girls. You are going to do your push-ups in your room. You're going to flex those muscles of being a bull. That's what you need to do. You got to buy more. When the bridge is letting you in, everyone's trying to get in, you have to get more aggressive. Now, I'm not specifically saying just buy PulseX. I'm telling you, have a look at your bags. Look at the number I'm showing you here. If your day one sacrifice does a 71x, just what I'm trying to protect you, okay? If we're up 71x from day one sacrifice, all right, I explained below here, okay? You will see bragging rights. Ricardo himself will be on Twitter saying, my coin did 1,000x. You're going to sit there, your $1,000 is only $71,000. Now, that's a lot of money, by the way. You made a 71x, but you're then holding from that point. So I am not saying 71x isn't a lot of money. It is, man. It is. That's what I've been telling you. Every single one. A lot of you people get angry, man. I'm happy with a 10x. Okay? So 71x is a lot of money. But here's the thing about these bragging rights. You can't make money off bragging rights. You can't make money off the market cap. No impact to you. What about those bragging rights? Can you trade those bragging rights? If someone gets to show a chart that measures 1,000x, does that matter to me and you? No, it doesn't. No, it does not. As you see now, only your sacrifice price matters. That's the only thing that matters. And we're all in from the sacrifice price. So to continue, if PulseX does that 1,000x from the low and you are still holding, you must prepare for minus 95% at some point. Okay? And I'm here to kindle some hope. I say I hope PulseX does a day one sacrifice 200x pump for us. I really do. Because here's the thing. We're going after the Ethereum returns. That's the modeling here. So Ethereum did like a 4,500x in its first cycle. I want you to know that. Okay, but Ethereum was the real unicorn. Now, I'm not going to be too hard on anyone because we should be grateful for what it is. But Ethereum's 4,500x was infinite money from the ICO. It was actually a 4,500x. All 10,000 people who went into the Ethereum ICO got in at 31 cents. They got a 4,500x. None of this like fake painting, paint down, like, oh, our sacrifice is here. Let's drop 85% so we can run it back and add another 14x. None of that. Ethereum was the actual unicorn. But it's a unicorn, man. It started everything, just like Bitcoin. So we got to be grateful for what we can get because we have conviction here. So we are very grateful that we have this opportunity presented before us. So this is very important for you to know. What would a 4,500x be on top of that? So let's say we actually match 4,500x. So all you would do is multiply that 71x by 4.5. That's what it would be. 319x. Obviously, I want this. You want this too. Wouldn't this be great? If we got a 300x from our day one sacrifice, I would love that. But remember what I told you again. Hex dropped minus 97% and all the money was locked up and everyone was staked. All right? We will drop rough in the next bear market. But it's so many years away, so don't worry about it yet. But we will drop rough. So it's not about how high we go. It's about you, me. What do we decide when we are 71x onside? What do we decide? Do we say, well, let's keep going? Probably. But also, if you say to me, hey man, 1000x, like technically we can drop from here and it's considered a success. I will say to you that's completely true and you know it is in your heart. So you might call it a failure. There are many people, I understand, many people are going to get very angry just listening to this, and I completely understand, but I told you. I've been telling you for a long time. So what do you want me to do? Like, if it was up to me, yeah, if I could wave a wand and give you 100x, 1000x guaranteed from day one sacrifice, I'd love to do it. But the way these things are going, this is what you have to decide. So if only there was a way you could protect yourself. Well, you know the answer. You go giga hard. You go really hard. And so when we're up 71x from day one sacrifice at this price, this exact price up here, okay, so 007, 0.007, that's actual price here. If you zoom in, let's go in. Let's do the squinty eyes, baby dolls. Let's actually check this price. Yes, it is 0.007 for PulseX. If we get there, you can then decide, you go, hey, like there are some people that would have said to me, hey, I was going to put $2,000, but now that I'm so convicted and you're a baby doll baby cake and I want to pay you 1 ETH in the future for friendship, I've got $10,000 in it now. So you will thank me in the future if this works out, because at the 71x, you can actually say to yourself, you know what? I hope it keeps going, but if I got out 2/3, I'm pretty much done and I can just leave the third and see how high it goes. That would make me the happiest cookie around, because you have protected yourself from anything that happens beyond that point. Maybe Jim Cramer gets bullish. Maybe there's a Bitcoin spot ETF. Maybe you see Vitalik sending 10,000 Ethereum to go sell the top in the next bull market. I hope those obvious signs come, but we can't be guaranteed of them. That's the thing. Look how badly we got scammed in 2022. Look how underwhelming it was. The time was correct, but the pricing was not. You can see how people get trapped. They get lulled really into a false sense of security because they're looking for that round number. The Bitcoin 100K, the Ethereum 10K. We all fought it. And look what happened. We stopped under it. So I don't want you. Think about this. Imagine we're at 71x. Think about everybody to your left and to your right. And also everybody under your bed watching you sleep. Think about what they would be saying up here. If PulseX hits up here, are they going to be telling you it's done? Nope. They're going to be telling you, hey, they'll be saying to you, hey, there's no way in this world Richard or anybody else is going to let this thing go under 100x from sacrifice. No way. That's what they'll be saying. But it's not up to them or us or anybody else. It's just up to the market. What if the market just runs out of buyers? What if Bitcoin just poops the bed? What if they do some Operation Choke Point number 5 again for crypto and just send everything to the gulag? This is outside of our control. That's why I just want you to protect yourself. The good thing is you are following, like, subscribe, bell button, and you are checking it out from a very far time in the future. This is the most important part. We don't want to be thinking about this in 2025 June. We don't. You think about it now. When it's depression, everyone's crying, everyone's whinging, people are taking big losses. This is when you want to be thinking about this so we can get our strategy formed. Okay? So I've gone through this. I've made many videos of this. I've made tweets about this. This is a technicality. What do I mean by technicality? It means everybody wins. All right? That's what it means. It means everyone wins. It means when I made videos saying, hey, wallet DO1. So wallet, right? Don't forget this name. All right, wallet DO1. Now, there are other sharks in the HEX community. They'll dump the price. They're scum, okay? There are sharks out there that do this. But wallet DO1 is a not-so-bright player. So he sold HEX at minus 97% down, absolutely destroyed it. Wallet DO1 sacrificed $14 million at a 71x for him. So I want you to know, before we even looked at these numbers, I was making so many tweets and I told you, if you give him a 100x, wallet DO1 has $1.4 billion. So he can smash the liquidity pool with $1.4 billion. So this is why I was like, well, at 100x, I can see it happening. I can. But when you want to push me to the 1000x for sacrifice prices, okay, now we're in a different world. Because I showed you, not just Wallet DO1, but all the other top 100 wallets, $14 million. If you give him a 1000x, he's got 14 billion. Him and everybody else ends up on the Forbes rich list. I don't know if we're going to have PulseX logos for the top 250 people in the magazine for PulseX rich list. I'd love to, but that's just a possibility I'm thinking about. Very low odds of happening, less than 5%. What do you think is more likely? Do you think it's more likely this guy around up here, he's waiting for his 100x and it comes back down to 50x and he decides, he goes, damn man, you know, I've made like 700 million at this point, which he has, 50% off the high at this point. What do you think he's going to do? The liquidity pool can get absolutely destroyed by this guy. So this is not to FUD you, just to let you know, I can see this years away. This is not even a 2024 issue. This is a 2025, deep 2025 issue. I've been thinking about this since 2022. We're 3 years ahead of the game. So the fate is in your hands now. How are you going to play it? I still believe you get Hex on Pulse, Hex on Ethereum, you get your PulseX, you get your PulseChain. We hold all 4 of them. We try wait for Euphoria, and that's the best we can do. I want you to know all of these, you get bragging rights. Every single one. So just for the kicker, I even have the returns of what the actual prices are based off today. So this is, remember, I'm not trying to fudge you or anything. This is just the truth, okay? This is a huge guy. I don't know why. He's selling, look at these clips, 5 million. He's selling 5 million Pulse at a time. He is getting absolutely destroyed. He's just taking huge losses. This guy, everybody's just taking losses. All right, we're going to keep our wits about it. And here I've got a comment to let you know. Paper hands selling their Pulse and PulseX. I did tell you for a long time, unfortunately, there is a lot of weak hands that need to be rinsed. Everybody's down after 2 years. So that's the truth, right? We are technically down. Yes, we're waiting for liquidity, but if you try to get out, you're technically down. So note that Hex dropped in price for 4 months after launch. I just showed you that, right? Remember that beginning of the video? Weak people must exit first. So yeah, everybody wants a pump, but the freeloaders, they don't get the pumps. So right now, based off today, right now, these prices right now, even though it's low liquidity, it's being added, PulseX is down 73% from sacrifice price. We're down. PLS is around break-even price, okay? And we just saw it's about 100K liquidity. So when I posted this, there are baby dolls in the comments saying, check the liquidity, you know what you're talking about? And I was like, bro, I've seen this before, okay? It's not wildly deviated. When I posted this, there was only $2,000 of liquidity. Now it's up to $100,000. But the price is still the same. Bad news. Like, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but it's bad news, right? That means $100,000 of the next round of people were happy to make liquidity around the sacrifice price for PLS. And remember, because PulseX is 25% the price of PLS, we're down like 73%. Hex on PulseChain, around 1 cent. Also destroyed. You can see it here. If you can remember this website. So if you go to Dex Screener, you can actually go find what they are. You can have a look. And hopefully, as we're watching it, it's getting a bit higher. So here, Hex on PulseChain. I know this is Hex WPLS, but it's actually the USD price. It's just looking at the liquidity pair. So you'll get used to these over time. So you can see up here, it's 1.3 cents. Liquidity is $1.2 million. So it's not like no one is really pumping this yet. No one's here. We're still waiting for the money to come in. We're seeing how everything moves. All the USD pricing is starting to come in. We can observe everything, and you can kind of cross-match with each other. So I'm looking down here. Using the Hex and the incentive token, it's 1.39 cents. Using Hex and PLS, it's 1.4 cents. So you can see you can cross-reference these, and the prices and the liquidity, and everyone's starting to match each other. So what do I think you should do? Because all of this, it's great information, but what can you really do? Well, all you can do is, firstly, ratio trading is useless because it's the USD price that's screwed. So we have all the ratios, but it doesn't matter because Okay, so we have all our ratios. They're going to be these circles. You got HEX incentive pair. You got PLSX, PLS. You got HEX, PLS. These are all linked. It doesn't really matter. But all of these are in one bubble, and they are linked to one SPI. And it might be like this, PLS DAI. Okay, this is the SPI. So it's PLS USD. So if you want, I can just write PLS USD. This is the SPI. So if this goes up, it drags everything up. If this goes down, it drags everything down. This is how it's going to really operate. These ratios can mix and match with each other. It doesn't really matter, right? Is it, PLSX versus Pulse. PulseX goes stronger, PLS goes weaker, HEX goes stronger. It doesn't really matter. You can rotate these around infinitely. It doesn't impact anything. So this is all from the liquidity bonding. But it all comes down to the gateway, the USD. So if we are going to get a pump, it's not going to be in any of the ratios or anything. It's just going to be someone comes in and attacks the SPI, attacks PLS USD. So the ratio is useless to you. So what can you do now? You will go to pulseramp.com. You'll go to pulseramp.com, and what you want to do is, I'm just going to bring it up for you. Here we go. Yes, you go to pulseramp.com, and you can bridge in your stable coins. You can buy whatever you want. You're going to have to take a punt. That's it. There's no other free money. You're going to have to take a punt. We're going to wait for more updates. There's going to be more PulseX yield farms. There's going to be more money coming in. There's probably going to be origin address, Greg liquidity set. I don't know where. I don't know how. He's gone to sleep. And he's had some posts that I can just show you right now. And I've brought it for you here. All right. So before he's gone to sleep, this is what he says. So this is from Ricardo himself. You can see up here, $19 million. So this is from the bridge. Okay. So Ricardo says, bridges and exchanges have a great opportunity in PulseChain. There's already $19 million sitting in the bridge contracts trying to get in. So this is what we want. So we hope this obviously rotates and spreads the value and comes to pump in. So you can count the stablecoin 3.4 million and 3.5 million. Isn't this great? So people are very, very hungry. That's very squared. Wow. For a man as eloquent as him, for him to use double varies, that's pretty powerful. So people are double very hungry for PLS to transact with and finding it hard, if not impossible, to buy on chain. So he's just reflecting the demand. And he says he's blocking a lot of people. You don't have a well-functioning real money market for PulseX, Pulse, or anything on PulseChain yet. They take time to gather liquidity. Everything will be highly volatile for a while. People can't even find ways to shove their money into these systems yet. So yes, all of this is coming and it's coming alive, but don't let this distract you, okay? Don't let this distract you from what we just spoke about. And that is the bragging rights. We can't make money off them. All that matters is our day one sacrifice. Please collect as much as you can. PLS, PLSX, double hexes. We'll see where all of them land. Fingers crossed it doesn't get too hairy. Because the way it's going right now, you know exactly what time it is. When these numbers start hitting, you can't blame anybody but yourself if it goes down. You knew about this for 2 years. All right, now it's going to get serious. We have this serious talk now. Okay, if it goes up 1000x from this low and you take nothing out, all right, if it takes 1000x from this low, if you take literally nothing out and you ride at minus 95%, you'll never forgive yourself. You're going to tell mum and dad that you love them. Like, subscribe, bell button, all friends. I'll catch you very soon.